In a crucial hearing regarding Pegasus in the top court, government denied all snooping allegations and informed the court that it will set up a technical experts committee as it is a technical issue and require experts' opinion. However, petitioner's lawyer launched a sharp attack and said that the affidavit does not answer the basic question on whether the Pegasus spyware was used or not. Representing the petitioners, Kapil Sibal said that if the government hasn't used Pegasus, there is no need for a committee, and if it was used, what will the committee do? So that's the question raised by the petitioner's lawyer. Let me go across to Meenakshi Banja joining us with more inputs on this. Meenakshi, first of all, bring us up to speed with what were the submissions made by the centre in the affidavit, and now we are given to understand that there's a sharp response coming on this from the side of the petitioner's lawyer.
Well, the matter is very much underway, and we had broken the story about the contents of the government's affidavit and how, for the first time, the government is saying it is willing to set up a committee to examine and also to sort of like counter and ward off any untoward aspersions being cast. Clearly, the petitioners led by Mr. Kapil Sibal not satisfied, not satisfied with what the government has stated in this affidavit, which runs into 2 pages. As a matter of fact, Mr. Kapil Sibal says that the government affidavit is lacking because it is not expressly stating in a yes or no format whether or not the spyware of Pegasus was purchased and used by government or any of its agency anywhere, yes or no. Secondly, Mr. Sibal is referring to a parliamentary question by Mr. Asiddin Awesi from 2019, where for the first time the government had conceded in Parliament that there were certain reports of Pegasus infected software. So Mr. Sibal wants to know after that whether the government has engaged in any form of investigation to ascertain or unearth what happened subsequent to that. As we speak, the matter is still underway where the Honorable Chief Justice of India is telling the solicitor that the petitioners are not satisfied with what the government has submitted in its 2-page affidavit. Somebody like Mr. Shyam Devan clearly stating that this is an enormous issue. Just a 2-page affidavit does not suffice, to which we have a sharp rebuttal coming in as we speak from the solicitor. He's going on to state that this is an issue of national security. Earlier, government has relied upon the statement made by the IT minister to deny all the Pegasus snooping allegations. But as we speak, the solicitor is telling the Supreme Court, and I quote, there will be issues of national security if this court decides to go into aspects that petitioners want. There is a system in place, and my friends from the other side also know that lawful interceptions do take place as per the law, unquote. This is what the solicitor has just submitted in the Supreme Court, where the Chief Justice of India just remarked to the solicitor a short while back that the petitioners wanted to know whether the government had ever bought or used Pegasus, and if not, what steps it took to inquire into the alleged illegal interceptions using Pegasus. So this is hugely important, what the solicitor has just informed the Supreme Court, saying that issues of national security will crop up if the Supreme Court decides to go into aspects that the petitioners want.
Yes, and in terms of what the centre has said in its defence, Meenakshi, if I understood you correctly, a couple of issues have been flagged off. Firstly, saying that the matter is based on media reports, then also blaming vested interests for raising this issue. But do you think that there is some merit in the argument that the government has not clearly stated whether at any stage in any form did it use Pegasus spyware or not? Is that question not adequately answered by the centre in its affidavit?
Well, that is a question which is being considered by the Supreme Court. So, yes, there are issues which the Supreme Court feels is lacking. That is why it is paying heed to the arguments and submissions by Mr. Kapil Sibal, Mr. Shyam Devan, Mr. Rakesh Dwivedi, eminent senior lawyers who are representing various parties or the petitioners in this case, and they are pressing upon the Supreme Court to get the Cabinet Secretary to submit an affidavit. Not just that, they're saying that this was an affidavit which was filed by just additional secretary in the Ministry of IT. And as the Chief Justice of India just told the solicitor that the petitioners want to know more in a yes or no format whether the government has at any point in time used the Pegasus spyware or not. We have this big breaking that we had just got to our viewers a moment back, where the solicitor has invoked national security. He has gone on to state, and I quote, there will be issues of national security if this court decides to go into aspects that petitioners want. There is a system in place, and my friends from the other side also know that lawful interceptions do take place as per the law, unquote. So this is what the solicitor has just informed the Supreme Court. And clearly the Supreme Court at this point in time is mulling over granting more time to the solicitor to find a more detailed affidavit, which the solicitor says at this point in time is not viable because it will open other aspects pertaining to national security.
All right. Thanks, Meenakshi, for joining us with the latest inputs and for giving us clarity on the proceedings in the top court over the Pegasus round.